into the movie room, where I'm doing a lot of more story vlogs as of late. But as you just saw, I made an interesting discovery while in the middle of a work shift, and I put it in my bag here. This. So what do I got here? It was just a rock sitting on top of the Wreck-It Ralph standee. I swear. And I was going downstairs and I saw it and I was like, oh, piece of trash. Then I grabbed it and I'm like, no, piece of rock. And this is really cool. This is perfect for me, a guy that likes to go out and explore. On the side I picked up, it says, post to Facebook, Northwest Rocks, keep or hide. Hashtag 2018 PR. I could see initials of whoever hit it. So I'm guessing you post a picture on Facebook when you find it. I forgot to do that part. But I'm going to keep the game going. And I was trying to think of a place to hide it. It's actually cool. I didn't even notice this till I was holding it and looking at it. But they also did a Mickey Mouse caricature on the back. A very dapper Mickey Mouse. And so my plan was to, when I found it, like immediately I knew what I was going to do. I was like, I'm going to find a really cool spot and hide this. A spot that's not entirely like simple to find, like, you know, the middle of a road, drop the rock there. But a place that enough people can go to. A place that's kind of hiding in plain sight is really what I was going for. And then, almost as soon as I made that decision, I was walking just little ways up the road from here, and I was walking through this small little park right in the middle of Stark Street, and I realized where I was going to put my rock. Oh, here we go. So this here is Stark Street Island Park. Very small. Literally, it goes from here to right over there. And that's an interesting thing about Portland. Portland, I mean, even the state of Oregon is known for having very small things. Depot Bay, smallest bay in the world. But yeah, park-wise, little parks like this place. Stark Street Island Park. It's literally just this. It's a place to come sit down and get out of. So Portland is known, to a degree, for having small parks like this. In fact, want to know a little piece about Oregon history? The smallest park in the world is located in Portland. There it is. I'm not kidding. A little bit of history here. This is Mill Ends Park, founded in 1976. Now, what kind of sucks is it's a little bit kind of treacherous to get to. Thank goodness there's this median here. Otherwise, I'd probably be waiting here for a while. But I'm at the intersection. This intersection of Taylor, which is going across, and then this is the Nato Parkway. This used to be Front Avenue, and this is all waterfront park back here. And the big Oregon Journal building used to be here, which was a newspaper that was done here that ceased operations back in the 1980s. But the placement of that building, you know, back here is very prominent in terms of this park and the fact that they were right next to each other. Anytime you want to change light, actually, I mean, I think I'm good to go. Alright, here we are. They even gave it a minimal sized sign. Like, signs like this are in Portland, but they're like, you know, about as tall as this tree, which this is the Mill End Park tree, and for the season they've decorated it like a Christmas tree, which makes sense because as of this recording, it's like, what, 12 days before Christmas, and then there's just a lot of miscellaneous whatnot in here. I have to watch my freaking step because this is not safe whatsoever. So I'm not going to spend too much time here because this is treacherous. So, you know, a park you can have your kids visit, but don't let them run around too much. But yes, as I said, this park was established, and you almost can't see it behind this little tree trunk. It was established before then, but it officially became a park in 1976. And not too far down the road, it was officially acknowledged by the Guinness Book of World Records as the smallest park. I can't even point at it, it's so tiny. Smallest park in the world. It's like 452 square inches. They couldn't even measure this park by square footage. So it's cool. It's very Portland. You know, Portland didn't just get interesting in the last 20 years. It's always been this way. And the official story behind this was supposed to be where a light pole went in to, you know, light up the street. They built the concrete foundation to put it in, and then for some reason that seems to be lost to mystery, the pole never showed up. So it just became this hole in the ground that was just kind of growing, started, you know, cracking, growing weeds out of it. People would throw their trash in it. It was ugly. But fortunately, there just happened to be a newspaper man who worked in the Journal building that used to be right here, whose office looked down on this little, you know, hole in the middle of the street on Front Avenue. There was a guy that worked in the Journal building, which I'm literally like walking on the land that the building was on. He would look out his window and see this hole in the ground in the middle of the intersection that was just becoming an eyesore. And he claims, I'm assuming he was being comedic about this, but he claimed that he looked out and he saw a leprechaun there. And this guy's name was Dick Fagan. I don't remember if I mentioned his name already, who was a writer for the Journal. So he sees this leprechaun in this hole. He races out of his office, runs down here, runs up to the hole, and he catches the leprechaun. And as lore tells you, when you catch a leprechaun, you're given a wish. So he wished for his own park. However, as the story goes, he didn't specify where, he didn't specify how tall it or how big it should be, all that stuff. And so in the end, the leprechaun gave Dick Fagan the hole, and he took care of it. He actually regarded it as his own park. I am being swarmed by these critters. They are not happy that man, they are coming at me. You want to hang out? I'm talking about leprechauns. Oh man, this one right here, this one right here really doesn't like me. Anyway, I'm trying to stay safe while I unveil the story. I have a very large audience now, and so we actually took care of this place. And unfortunately, he passed away in 1969, 7 years before it actually officially became a park. But if it wasn't for him, this probably wouldn't exist here today. And Dick Fagan, even like beyond just that account, he would write about his experiences with this main leprechaun he had. And apparently this leprechaun, who was named Patrick O'Toole, that was his name, he told Fagan that this was the largest leprechaun colony outside of Ireland. So this place became very prominent in St. Patrick's Day festivities. Whenever St. Patrick's Day comes around, they have a big hullabaloo down here that kind of revolves around this park. And it's very interesting over the years. You know, like, it's very apropos that the tree that's here is decorated as a Christmas tree, because there's always interesting things that have gone on over the years. involving this park. And actually, there's an interesting story about the tree specifically. The original tree that was here got stolen a few years back, so they planted a new one. And then right after they planted the new one, someone came up and there's a tree just sitting next to the new one that looked exactly like the old tree. And they think that like whoever stole the original tree brought it back and put it back in there. But beyond that, somebody put like a miniature swimming pool thing there with a little diving board on it that apparently was supposed to be a swimming pool for butterflies. Crazy things like that. And ultimately, what's very interesting about this story is in Britain, there's a place that I believe is called Prince's Park. And it's the smallest park in the UK, and apparently the second smallest park in the world, because some people there actually tried to have Mill End Park, or I keep calling it just Mill End. They tried to have it removed as the smallest park in the world. They wanted their park listed as the smallest park in the world, and they were like, well, I mean, look, it's not even a park, and you know, our park, which I've seen pictures of, it's a little bit bigger, but they're like, we have a fence around it, and we have amenities. So, of course, after that happened, us being Portland and being Americans, someone came down and actually put a little, you know, built a scale, you know, about that tall fencing around the structure of the park, and according to some sources, hired, now they put this in parentheses, but hired armed security. So, and the park got its name specifically from an article, like a series of articles that Dick Fagan wrote, that were called mill ends, which was a term that was used for when lumber mills would run their wood through and they would have all these little like pieces left over. That's what they were called. So that's what it was in reference to, and that's what the name of the park's in reference to. So it's a crazy little spot, but it's got like this crazy cool history to it as well. This guy knows what I'm talking about. This guy in particular, this guy's not happy. This guy's fixing to run me the hell out of here. I just want to tell you my stories. I want you to share in my experiences. I just want to eat. This grass cannot be healthy. So, with all that known, there's only one thing left for me to do. Alright. Whoever comes next in line, I'm gonna just leave you right there, expose you just a little bit. So, if you're watching my videos, don't be a jerk, because you already know where I hit this kind of Easter egg rock, but there it is, waiting to find its next home here at Mill End Park. And I can only assume that since it's a rock and this is a park, that I'm not littering. Let's just make sure I'm safe to go. But yeah, there it is, smallest park in the world. What do you guys think about that? Did you guys know that? The smallest park in the world over there. What you thinking? You like that? No? Oh Jesus, they're surrounding me. I knew this is how my life was gonna end. Death by Canadian geese. Well, anyway guys, I hope you enjoyed that little video. The moment I thought of this place, I've been in downtown Portland so many times and always forgotten to visit this little freaking park over here. And I'm still being surrounded. And then it popped into my head and I knew what a perfect spot to put that rock. So hopefully, you know, people visit this spot a lot. Someone will stumble onto it. Don't bite me. I hear them picking and it's like they're like right next to me. But anyway, from technically Waterfront Park, right across the way from Mill Ends Park, this has been Steve the Amateur Historian. And if I don't get eaten alive, I'll see you next time.